not happy with the Bucks front office, the Bucks organization, as he reportedly wants out of Milwaukee. This is the breaking news story that I've been reading about the past few days going on now. So the Bucks was sitting currently at 10-13. They put the fight to the Detroit Pistons, but in the absence, they're going to be without Giannis for some Giannis at the time, which he was already missing games early on this season. Here I'm looking at the New York Times, excuse me, the New York Post, and they're looking at I'm looking at the article right now, and they're saying what the next destination would be odds, and rumors has pretty much have been saying that it's gonna go between the New York Knicks, the San Antonio Spurs, along with potential Bucks trade and play. So if anybody's guessed where Giannis Antetokounmpo will be after February 5th, NBA trade deadline, and the predictions markets any indication, there's still a lot of up in the air for the Bucks star. And despite trade rumors swirling, Milwaukee remains the most likely team Giannis Antetokounmpo will be suiting up for that date, according to Kowski, a New York-based financial exchange and prediction market. Antetokounmpo, who went down with a calf injury on Wednesday night, has begun talking with the Bucks about his future with the franchise and discussing whether the best fit is either stand or move elsewhere. According to ESPN, Shams Charania, with a resolution expected in the coming weeks. And as expected, teams are lining up. The New York Knicks, who are rumored to mutual interest in Antetokounmpo last summer, are the favorites to land the two-time MVP. If he boasts from Milwaukee with a 28% chance to pull off a blockbuster trade for him, and the San Antonio Spurs, who could pair Giannis Antetokounmpo with Victor Wembanyama to form one of the best big man combos the NBA has ever seen, and it had the third best chances, 15%, to be his next team. The Hawks, 9%, the Houston Rockets, 6%, and the Miami Heat, 6%, are the only other teams with the odds better than 5%. And as of Thursday evening, the market, which opened on Wednesday night, will have drawn more than 277,000 in bets at Kalshi. And after starting out 4-1, the Bucks have lost 12 of their last 17 games, including 8 of their last 10, which would land them outside of the Eastern Conference play-in and playoff picture if the season had ended today. So, Antetokounmpo has been typical MVP-like self this season when healthy, averaging 30.6 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists on 64% shooting. My thoughts.
Hello, Moto.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. I had a had to get in the middle of a call. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was in the middle of a call. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying about the Giannis situation with the Bucks. I believe that the Milwaukee Bucks are not gonna salvage and find out the situation with Giannis as far as keeping him there for the foreseeable future. I feel like Giannis is not happy with the way the Bucks are handling with the team currently assembled. Not happy with Doc Rivers. Hey, what's going on, Edwin? Yeah, they're not happy with the chemistry with the guys around them. I think Gary Trent Jr., the only guy that's still there that only has a couple of years left, is Ryan Hollins. and I believe everybody else is pretty much on like 1 year contracts. So that's not looking good. And I think Giannis, being that he's gonna be, I think this offseason the next offseason gonna be on his last of the contract. So yeah, they're probably gonna look at and ship him out in a trade. And I think one of these teams, I would say, could be a possible landing spot. But the best possible situation I could see him possibly being in is maybe the Atlanta Hawks or the San Antonio Spurs. Number one, I could see the San Antonio Spurs. I like the combination with not only with him and Victor Wembanyama, but De'Aaron Fox, who can actually play the point guard and two guard position, both on ways that's such a high level. And I believe the chemistry, and they be a much faster team at a much faster pace, spreading up the floor, and being able to get guys like DeMar Vassell and the young rookie Stephon Castle, who is playing more the two, and then De'Aaron Fox is more of like the one. I feel that pairing could be pretty interesting, and I think that team could be really really dynamic. It could really add a little bit of flair and a little bit of substantial ideals. So I like the fact that that could be a possible landing spot for him, and that could actually be the best possible scenario in my eyes that could get him closer to a championship. And with the Atlanta Hawks, the reason why I said that could be a possible scenario because you got Trae Young, Kristaps Porzingis, Dyson Daniels, Nkonkwo. You got some young talent, and then mixed with some veteran presence as well. So that can help out with Giannis. That could take so much of the pressure and the load off of him because he ain't got to take the ball off the floor. If he goes anywhere else, I just think that he would probably be in a similar situation that he is with the Bucks. I feel like those two teams are the best possible scenario because you don't have to control the ball at least 80 to 85% of the time. Because you got guys on there that can help develop and help push your game and elevate your game further. You ain't got to go through a whole lot of loopholes and loopholes to try to boost and elevate your game because your game is pretty much gonna even keel it, even his way out when you got star talent around you. And I think that was also a problem because he kind of plays a little bit into the responsibility of letting other guy of having a say of other guys of letting the other guys go. In the front office decision to make it based upon the approval of not just him but other stars as well. Because look at the stars that they had. You wanted to get rid of and trade Jrue Holiday, and you also wanted to trade some picks to go get Damian Lillard. And then after you had not only with Jrue and Chris Middleton, you had Malcolm Brogdon. You had guys that, not to say Malcolm Brogdon is on the same level as those guys or Dame Lillard. I'm just saying that you had certain star level talent and all-star level caliber players, and then not to mention the fact that you had Brook Lopez for a while, and then because you let Brook Lopez go with the Clippers, and now you pick up Miles Turner, you think that could be a big man presence that can score and rebound, which that proves to not really make a difference whatsoever. And because you kind of played a little bit of the part and letting guys go. Chris Middleton's gone. Dame Lillard's gone. Brook Lopez gone. Brogdon and the rest of these other guys are gone. That's your main core that you played with before in the past. That's a problem. That's a huge, huge misstep for you, Giannis. And I feel like those kind of things can play a big part into why you're not as successful as you think you would hope could be. And the thing and also another thing that could also be in the conclusion is the Milwaukee Bucks, if they start to go on a winning streak, it's not going to mean nothing because if you go on a 6, 7, 8 game winning streak, 10-game winning streak, it's not going to mean nothing right now because your defense has completely regressed and you guys can't stop anybody. And you're supposed to have guys like Bobby Portis and Taurean Prince who are supposed to be decent defenders, and they're not proven to be anything right now, and that's a big problem. And they're gonna continue to run into those problems, and they can get things fixed. Oh hey, Miss Sarah, hey, how's it going? But yeah, until they get those problems fixed, they're gonna constantly run into these kind of things. That's gonna be a big flaw. And in my opinion, if they don't get that fixed sooner rather than later, they're gonna regret it. Hold on, guys, I'll be right back. Uh, 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 ooh. All right, guys, I am back. So yeah, getting back to the Giannis situation and Milwaukee Bucks. I just think that Giannis needs to understand that the next destination team that you're gonna go to, you're not gonna get the same love, recognition, any given possible way and outcome that you got in Milwaukee, knowing that you brought that Bucks team a championship and in its franchise history since the early 1970s when Kareem and Oscar Robertson ended up winning it at that time, and that only lonely championship, which was like over 40 some years ago. So just know that with these kind of high expectations that you're getting from the media and fans, just know that it comes with a lot of the territory. It comes with a lot of the backlash. And yeah, your game is playing so well because the way that your ability to create your own shots in the paint and ability to drive and get to the lane. I pretty much do like more of like a half step. Yeah, it's his ability to drive and durability to drive into the game, but he still got to improve on the free throw shooting and improve on the jump shooting if he want to takes his game more to the next level. And those are the things that you got to work on moving forward if you want to become in the upper echelon of the all-time greats. And of course, winning another championship, obviously, winning another Finals MVP, maybe another league MVP, if you might add to that resume. Those are the things that you got to look at moving forward if you're Giannis. And also, at the same time, understand that these front office organizations, they don't always look to care about the main star. You saw what LeBron and Dan Gilbert were going through back in Cleveland before he, wanted to take his talents to South Beach and the Miami Heat, and then of course that didn't go as planned because they trust, LeBron. One of his first moves is wanted to get rid of Eric Spoelstra, and that was not going to sit well with Pat Riley nor D Wade, and that pretty much is ahead. So, Giannis, I'm just saying that the superstar players, there's always been said that they get, the treatment. I don't always believe to be 100% to be the case. It just goes without saying that it has to go through the top tier of executives and GMs and people that's in that front office. And know that you got a responsibility to play on your behalf as well in order to be willing and to compete in the drive. So I think he'll go to those two destinations, either the Spurs or the Atlanta Hawks. Those would be the best things. I think that would be the best choices for him. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. Oh, Shapur Maddie. Hey, what's going on? And thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the sub. But yeah, now those are my thoughts about where I think he's going to go at this point. Gonna get some sleep tonight, guys. I'm pretty tired. Been working these second shifts and closing, so yeah, I'm pretty tired. I just kind of going out, but yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing to the page. I really appreciate that. It helps to make the channel grow. All right, guys. Good night. Peace.